Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast, and now game 1 in a 2-game set between Apollo's softball or Apollo's ball versus Rush's DS here on Cloud Kingdom. On the top right hand side of the map we have ball spawning as the blue Terran player. Meanwhile on the bottom left we have DS spawning as the red Protoss. Protoss versus Terran, a matchup that I haven't really seen in quite some time, just because a lot of the games seem to be Zerg versus Zerg and PvZ, at least in the TESL. I am curious as to Ball's opening, what he will be doing, and whether or not Rush will be able to earn a couple of points. So far, Rush has not been doing well in the round-robin play, and by my estimations, I would say he is probably in the bottom half of the pack, maybe even the bottom corner, so he may be forced to go into those up and down matches. Now, the TESL is very similar to Code A and Code S in Korea, just the level of players are significantly different, save for Sen and perhaps Azubu's top, who is coming in next, as we now see the gateway coming down. So DS is looking to go for a gateway. He should be going into an assimilator, and we'll see if he does go for that cybernetics core. Meanwhile, taking a look at Ball is already placed on his barracks, and his refineries was right behind it. So I'm assuming that refinery play is for a faster Reaper. Now, a fast Reaper is very, very important if you want to try to scout out your opponent and not scout out with an SCV. Surprisingly, though, we already see DS making a move with a proxy pylon at the 3 o'clock position. And this 3 o'clock position is normally not scouted. This will be a very, very telltale sign of what's going to be happening, as Ball is now moving around with this SCV and will spot this probe here. One quick thing to note, we are going into Marines, we are not going into Reapers, so there is not going to be any SCVs that will actually scout out and see that a pylon is missing in the base of DS. Meanwhile, DS is already getting a second assimilator with that cybernetics core, and we may perhaps see a bit of 4-gate pressure. So far, I don't know what exactly we're going to be seeing from DS. Perhaps he'll come back and then place down a Stargate, and with a Stargate, go for a proxy Oracle play. Currently, we do see one Marine holding a Zelnaga tower here. Stalkers are being trained, and this pylon has yet to be doing anything as of yet, as we are now going into a proxy factory. Alright, both players placing down buildings that are normally not scouted out, and this is very, very strange that both of them are actually hiding their building in the exact mirrored location on the other side of the map. The only real difference so far, there is only a single gas for Ball. He only has one SCV on gas, not even bothering with two. And this one factory here will actually be able to train up units. Meanwhile, this pylon here will only be able to warp down perhaps some zealots and some stalkers and sentries here in just a moment, as the stalker is already moving out. You got to be very careful though. Widow mines are very effective, and this proxy widow mine play could spell near certain doom. We are going into a Stargate, and I'm hoping to see oracles. Otherwise, these widow mines are not going to be countered whatsoever. Stalker now pushing around over here. Rush still has no idea whether or not a command center has come down, as the an SCV now taking a very roundabout way to get inside this base. Stalker is going to be holding on to here. Is he going to perhaps scout out this SCV? Yes. 1, 2. It does take 5 shots. 3, 4. Oh, one more shot should do it. And is he going to be able to do it? No, the probe is going to get the kill. Probe for the kill steal, as the mothership core now looking to back off. However, there is a widow mine, and that widow mine could spell a lot of problems here, as the widow mine is going to get off a shot. Oh yes, does take down the stalker. Beautifully done. And now we are going into an oracle. The probes coming over, trying to zap it. Is it going to get it? Yes, it does. 4 probes taking down the widow mine. That stalker worth its weight, as now we see a group of Marines. The Oracle needs to be chrono boosted out. I don't know why Rush is not doing this. He must know that something is happening, and he needs to get that into play. Alright, there is that one Widow Mine. The Widow Mine does burrow itself right there. And are we perhaps going to see enough units? The Mothership Core needs to hurry back home, and the Widow Mine is in position. The Stalker and Marines are coming around, and there is the Oracle. Oh, activates the Pulsar Beam to try to take down some units, but the Oracle almost gets shot down there. That was a horrible loss deactivating the... Oh, he has not yet deactivated the Pulsar Beam. That is a bit of bad play, as the Oracle is not going to be able to be a detector any longer. Alright, a handful of Marines really causing problems inside here. The Marines now trying to engage. The probes now being forced to back off here, as there is the photon overcharge on the Nexus. The Nexus will be able to finish off many of these Marines here, as the Oracle does stick around and stay alive. However, with that said, you can see that there is currently one Widow Mine ready and armed, ready to go. Okay, where is this? Oh, it is off over here. Gonna quickly spot this and take it out. Oracles being used as detectors. Very smart play, I must add, as it really allows Protoss players to go into the Stargate without worrying about whether or not they can get a robotics facility and observers in time. Coming back around, you can see that the Oracle, and really in Heart of the Swarm, the Oracle shoring up a lot of the weaknesses that Protoss has had, and I think we're going to see more of this detection ability later on. All we right now see is that the Oracle is just flying around here, very, very fast moving. Has to be careful though where they fly, as the Widow Mines will be able to one-shot this low hit point Oracle, and maybe even take down this Oracle. Yeah, definitely going to be able to take down this Oracle as well. I believe it does like 165 or 175 damage, because the Protoss units do in fact have shields. Phoenix is now flying around as well, just doing a little bit of patrolling, wanting to make sure that if there are any medevacs, they are able to spot it and shoot it down. Let's take a look at the income. We are looking at 35 probes, or 36 probes versus 37 SCVs now. Both sides are about even here. This supply depot is really burrowed, even though it does not look like it, as the Oracle is now currently moving around here. There are a group of Marines, and oh, almost gets a shot off there. Almost takes down the Oracle that is acting as a detector, and you kind of got to be careful with that. These Oracles are much more expensive than observers, and they also fly faster than observers, but they are not cloaked, and Marines will in fact shoot them down the instant they are spotted. Here we can see that Zealots are coming in. There's only one sentry. It does have enough for 2 force fields, but is it going to be enough? That is going to be an important question. Here you can see that the Phoenix is, oh, need to back off again. It looks as though a beautiful reveal has been cast, and now all of Ball's units are going to be spotted at all times. This is huge, as you know where your opponent is at all times. You know if he's being aggressive, you know if he's being defensive, and Ball really has no choice here but to be defensive. He can see that there are Marauders in that group as well. He knows that he cannot be aggressive, and all he has to do now is be exactly where that group of Marines and Marauders are not. Alright, there is in fact one missile turret there, and we are going to be seeing all the gas has been taken down here. Are we perhaps going to see, yes, the refinery is even going to get taken down? You got to remember that the refinery is the lowest hit point out of all of the buildings in the StarCraft 2 universe for their gas. I believe it's, no, the extractor is the same. The assimilator is just crazy high, 900 hit points. Not quite sure why. Marines, 1-0 upgrades. Combat shield now getting ready. Meanwhile, Mothership Core does activate the photon charge. Is it going to be enough? For some reason, did not get off that time warp. The time warp was really needed, as the Oracle now comes over to get in some even more shots. Are we going to see enough there? The photon overcharge doing plenty of damage towards those units, but I believe if a time warp was thrown down, the entire fight would have been different. The Marines and the Marauders would have been slowly walking underneath to try and get to that Mothership Core. More units would have been there, as we now see, as we now see a quick drop into the main base. The Marines and the Marauders quickly trying to focus down the Colossus. It looks like the Colossus will go down, but not before all the rest of the units get taken down as well. There is one particular Phoenix who could in fact try and take down the rest of the medevacs, but there is the retreat there. Interesting game. DS and Apollo's Ball, both sides engaging and then losing lots of units. We are now going into Void Rays, however, and Void Rays with that prismatic alignment will shoot down plenty of units. Vikings, Marauders, Marines, medevacs all in position. Back over here, this proxy pylon has yet to be spotted or even used by DS, as we now see a third base coming in from Ball. I would say at this point that Ball wants this game to go long. He has his third base pretty much already operational, and he can move out and be aggressive, forcing the Protoss army to stay back. In addition, you can see that Ball is getting up a second starport with a reactor, so any Viking count or any Colossus numbers will quickly go in favor of Ball. Also, a Void Ray coming in does the prismatic alignment. This is huge, but also the Void Ray deals a tremendous amount of damage. The Protoss air is actually superior than the Terran air. Phoenixes shoot down Vikings with little to no effort. Void Rays, the in-between of the capital ships, as we now see that the Void Ray is trying to keep up with the rest of the units. The Viking may have been taken down by a Phoenix, if there was actually still a Phoenix in that group. No Phoenix. The Phoenix, nope, that's an observer. Still taking a look, let's see. This one proxy pylon has yet to be spotted. Lots of units now making their way down the map here. Army sizes, Ball sitting at 120 versus DS's 102. And this is still a tremendous advantage for Ball now, as he does have a superior income. The Nexus was reset. It will be about another 60 seconds or so before any additional resources will be coming in off of this third base here. Meanwhile, the main base has been nearly mined out. You can see that some of the mineral patches are below that 500 range, as we already see the third base of Apollo Ball really saturated, 18/24, with still one refinery to go. We're going into this little bit of this dance here. Both players setting up their units, taking the time to figure out where their units are going to be and how they want to engage. Meanwhile, DS is now rushing with these Zealots to try and clean up a bit of this expansion here, and it looks like they will be able to do it. What are they going? Going after the SCV, and now all those SCVs are getting engaged. There is no charge, however, and without charge, those SCVs are not in any real danger. The Zealots are not going to be able to run away quickly enough, and you can see it now. The Twilight Council is currently being warped in, but it's going to be still quite some time. Colossus, Void Rays, Zealots, Stalkers, Sentries. This is a very good army, and if they engage straight up here and then place down force fields, Ball will not be able to defend. But no, what is this? This is not the engagement. Rush had a window of opportunity to attack and then did not engage. A horrible mistake there, as we now see all the units are coming back around. Colossi have extended thermal lance range. There you go. There's the one force field, as we can see that the orbital command will just get lifted off. The Void Rays are there though, and it will try and destroy the orbital command. No, whole bunch of SCVs get over in time, as this mass Marine Marauder, Viking, Medevac, Hellbat army now in play. So far, 131 versus 169. I really think if Rush had engaged their force field, split up the army, he could have taken that engagement and come out severely ahead. We are now going into a fleet beacon, and the fleet beacon is very important just because it gives an additional +2 or possible +2 range. Void Rays now trying to engage here. This is not a smart call at all. 2 Void Rays down against the sheer number of Vikings. The Phoenixes are better than the Vikings in air-to-air combat, but the Vikings in mass numbers will simply pluck out a Void Ray from the skies in a matter of seconds. Here we have it, no armor there. There you go, the Marauders and the Marines are trying to engage. There's the Guardian Shield. However, without Phoenixes in this group, the Colossus will melt away. And with that, the Marines and the Marauders, with their high DPS for their size, should be able to clean this up a bit. You can see 168 versus 85. More Void Rays being added, but this should be the GG. Apollo Ball now seen on a 100 supply advantage. However, a counterattack coming in. Only 2 lonesome Zealots making their way in here. Upgrade advantage definitely in favor of Ball, as we may see an engagement or a push into the natural expansion. It looks like the Zealots are going to be dealt with here with a handful of Marines. Meanwhile, the main Bio Ball here will take out the Stalkers and the Void Rays. There is the GG. Apollo's Ball taking game 1 in this 2-game set. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.